First of all, I'd like to thank KVEC for putting me after her. That was awesome. Great job. Great job. I want to get on there and check that out. That's really neat. How many of you have had those kids that are great kids that are no problems at all, no behavior issues, that make good grades and graduate and just move on? How many of you have those kids? All right, awesome. You know one thing I found out in my own teaching? Man, I messed up. Those are great kids. And why did I not challenge them? And you're like, well, they made good grades and they behaved. Well, there was a problem. Last year, I was fortunate enough to take 7 kids to Chicago. 7 kids from different age groups, 6th, 7th, and 8th. 7 kids that were from all different economic status. 7 kids from different academic levels. And I saw 7 kids be rock stars on the world stage. And I said, I've missed the boat for 21 years. And I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? Why did I do it? I really stewed on it this summer. I mean, it really, honestly, it whipped me. It really did. And I said, I can't do it anymore. I can't let those kids get by me. So this year, I took it on and I said, you know what? This grant is perfect for this. This $1,000 can rock their world and make them rock stars. Maybe not on a world level, but right here in this building. And that's where I came up with the concept, The Giving Room. How many of you have read the book, The Giving Tree? Okay, so I had read it a long time ago. Well, at the end of school, my kids were like, we come down and we always stay about 3 or 4 months ahead. So they had to do a performance. And we take children's books and we bring them to life. So we chose The Giving Tree. Do y'all know how sad that story is? Do you know how hard that is to put it on stage and be happy at the end? Listen, it was insane. But you know what? That thought process of what that tree did changed the whole way I look at education. That tree gave every single part of her and didn't expect anything in return. Well, you know what? I'm like, these kids need to be these trees. And I'm going to figure out how to do it. Now, do we have the outcome yet? Nope. But boy, have we started these trees growing. Oh, you better hang on. These kids are getting like pumped, psyched up, humped up, all of that stuff that Monroe would tell us, all right? And listen, it has been something that it's really hard for me to put into words. But to watch those 8th graders that just like to stay in the back and make A's and not cause any problems, get out of their comfort zone, listen, that's when education's fun. I love to see them squirm. I love to see them think. But I really love to see them challenge themselves. And you're like, well, they're making A's. Well, a lot of people can make A's. How are they in society? How are they changing lives? The Giving Room is about giving something of yourself for the benefit of others. This year, we walked in. I started with my 8th graders, and I said, look, you have a project. That project can be ongoing, or it can conclude at the end of the year. I love project-based learning. I'm an old band director, so that's what I've done all my life. So we decided to put it on steroids. I said, look, I need you to find a problem in our school, community, state, world, whatever you want to do, however far you want it to go. I need you to find the problem. And that's what we do, right? We find the problems. Our job is to fix them. So I realized last year that a 6th grader can fix a problem better than us old people sometimes. But we just got to take the cap off of them and take the ceiling off and let that tree grow. Man, I kept that thing up there because I was the teacher. Man, I messed up. I was settling for their mediocrity. And I'm going, why did I do that? Why didn't I just take the roof off and let it grow? And we did. And now we're seeing stuff that blows my own mind. This year, the Giving Room is a combination of kids serving other kids through basic stuff, through community service, through technology. But everything that they had to do had to have a purpose to it. And if it didn't have a purpose, we went back to the drawing board and found it. We're doing everything from, if you look up on it and you can see the poster out there, we have an AES Cares group. Man, they're in there. They're working with foster agencies. They are working with homeless shelters. All right. They are also getting involved in our classrooms. Man, our 8th graders, listen, they said, Mr. Bell, we want to go down and we want to work with primary kids and help them read. And I said, good, go. So I sent them down. I get an email from a teacher, and I'm like, oh, gosh, what did they do? She goes, I need 4 more. I said, 4 more? She said, yeah. She said, these kids are awesome. She said, they walk in, I give them, let them know what to do, and they just take off. I don't have to. She said, they're teaching them. I'm just watching. It's the neatest thing I've ever seen. So we moved it. We did those things. We moved it from 8th grade to 7th grade to 6th grade. And when you give them that opportunity and us just let go of the reins and let the reins roll, it will blow your mind. And not only do we do that, we have homework helpers. They love that after school. We're into microcomputers. If you don't know anything about microcomputers, listen, they're cheap. They're full computers that do all kinds of cool stuff, and these kids can program them. They can do it all. This year, just to give you a couple things, and I know I got to wrap up, we've challenged them, like I said, to do something with a purpose. We have a group of kids that want to make our school safer. They're working on different techniques to be able to control things using apps. So they're learning apps. I don't know. I'm a music teacher. I said, y'all going to have to go learn this stuff. They were like, okay. They go home. They come back and say, hey, here's what I learned. I'm like, man, this job's getting easier. And then they come back, and not only do they teach me, and they love teaching me. Don't y'all kids love to teach you? Oh, they think that's the coolest thing in the world. And I say, good. Go teach him. Go teach her. Go teach them. The Giving Room is an easy title. It's a giving school. When you make a giving school, I think we figured it out. Because now they're learning, and not just learning, they're becoming adults that we need them to become. So I challenge you guys. It's not really rocket science. But take the cap off your kids. I did it. And I was like, what? Why didn't I do it 20 years ago? You got any questions? Yes. Awesome. Yes, our Related Arts team is phenomenal. We're old people, so we've been working together for a long time. I think I'm the baby. I've got 22 years. So we've realized how important this project-based learning is. We are flexible. We call it like flexible classes. So when the kids come in, they're like, hey, I need to do da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, if you can come to me and tell me that, then you need to go do it. So our principals are here. They are awesome about allowing us to have this opportunity to challenge these kids and push these kids. Like when they're coming down the hallway, they're not like going to play. They're going to work. We're an ACT school, and we are heavily focused on student engagement this year. This makes every student engaged. They don't have a choice, but once they do it, they're like, ooh, that's good Kool-Aid. I'm going to keep drinking. And that's what we want. That's what we want. Any other questions? Yes. Oh, go ahead. Right now, we focused on middle school. So 6th, 7th, and 8th are where we're at. But eventually, this thing will continue until we can get as low as we can go. Oh, for this, we are in participation, those type of things. The way we base our data is we actually go. They have to actually write. So my kids that are going to work with the little ones have to actually come back and they blog it. They can write about it. They can submit it that way. So I'm looking at their progress because they have to monitor it themselves. But also, too, the teachers give me updates all the time because I'm always going, hey, how's my babies? And they're like, listen, they're at a point now where they just come in and do their thing. So that's success. Also, too, like the other things, we use it. I mean, we got kids that are working on how to keep kids safe in hot cars. And they're redesigning a car seat right now. So it's insane. I had to call, like, smart people because it's above me. So any other questions? I'll be around, so if you guys run into me, please see me. But the giving room, we're just trying to teach them to give because sometimes we forget that. And they want to do it's all about me, me, me. So we're trying to make it about them, them, them. Thanks, guys.